Hey guys, it's Brandon at Brothers of Merit. We have a unique time tonight as we are doing our first video newsletter. We have Mike, who's usually off the scene, so you guys are finally going to get to see the beard and hear from him, besides laughing in the background, and Taylor. So as we released the written newsletter this month, it was about fear. That's the topic I wanted to talk about to you guys. But the first thing I wanted to get on was kind of just give you a quick rundown of each of us, like what's going on currently in our lives before we break into what fear is, what the Bible says, and how it impacts our daily lives. So Mike, if you kind of just want to tell us what's been going on with you and in your life and what's been going on during this whole COVID thing.
Yeah.
Well, I think as it relates to fear, I think first off, in my life, I had to go through some different transitions. I moved out, moved into a new place right before COVID hit, and we went to digital online services. So I was actually a lot removed from like my normal role with the church, and there were a lot of people who felt like they weren't being included, and because we had to shrink down to
such a small
size. And so when that happened, we had to really take some extra steps to make people feel included and make people, just be very intentional about managing those relationships.
Right.
And so that was pretty different than what we were doing before, and I think a lot of people weren't really sure how the whole online digital service thing was going to pan out. So I think it's been a learning experience for a lot of people in the creative arts community at Crossroads. So
right.
It's been awesome, and like services have been awesome, and I mean that's like if you're not local and you want extra content, I think that's one of the coolest things about COVID.
Yeah.
Like and quarantine and stuff is like all of this stuff isn't just on Sunday mornings, right?
It's every
like, you know
day.
what I mean? Like,
Yep.
so if it's like a random Wednesday and it's like, man, I really just need a word of encouragement or whatever. It's like any church across America has their last Sunday service live. Yep. Like you can go like, let's see what Andy Stanley preached about. Let's see what Stephen Furtick.
Because everyone's feeding
or whatever or
the platform. You know what I mean?
So if you're interested, check out Crossroads 140.
.com.
Yep. Big O.
I
was gonna say .org.
Crossroads, Carroll County, you'll find it. You all know Carroll.
No, they've been good. Like Reed's been doing a really, really good job.
Right.
I've been super encouraged by.
And Taylor, what's been going on with you?
How's
it going?
Just chilling, working from home, enjoying a lot of family time, which has been really, really good. I'm starting in my quiet time. I was fading on that. I was really lagging behind on that Bible in a year. Like I fell pretty far behind, and I was super discouraged because I was like, man, like I told people, like I proclaimed to the world I was doing this, and then I failed. Like that's like really vulnerable. Like that hurts a lot.
I tried to do the same thing and fell like way behind.
I was like, crap. Like I was like, man, like I'm gonna have to read like 4 a day for like 3 months.
That's safe.
It wasn't like and so then it's like, but then I'm like. I was like, that's not the point. Like, I'm not, like, no offense. I'm not here to do my time to please you guys. You know what I mean? Like, that's not what I'm doing it for. Like, it's to get closer to the Lord.
Right.
And
so you're
really kind of,
that's what I did.
And like, and I'm not gonna let myself off the hook. Like accountability. Like, I failed, and I need to be better about disciplining, about getting in the Word and spending daily time with Him. Like, that's on me. But. And I need to be better about that. But in that, I was super discouraged. But then I really felt like God was telling me He revealed to me that it was actually in a couple of our fireside studies, and then a couple times in the podcast, I would say a verse, and then there was a time when it was like, but, and then God said something else, and it's like. God has not given us a spirit. Actually, that's not even a good verse because butt's not in that. But like whatever, blah 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 blah. But like in this world you will have trouble. But take heart, I've overcome the world. And I had a professor in college one time who said that he was a Bible college professor, so he's read through the Bible like a trillion times, and so he goes through every year and he like picks a word and studies that word. And so I was like really like I remember that, and I felt like God kind of revealed to me like that but like moment. And so I'm starting to go through the Bible now, and I'm gonna journal every time it says the word but.
Okay.
And then like journal what that means, and I don't know. So I'm excited to see what's kind of gonna come out of that. Been cool so far.
Like what it means in that exact context at that time.
Yeah,
like,
and just
okay.
like what, and like stretched throughout and all that. Yeah.
Right.
So
Right. Okay.
what happens when God says but?
Right. It's actually kind of neat.
Yeah.
But yeah. So
Fear.
Fear. Yeah, fear. I enjoyed talking about it with you guys. I know I start off with the COVID thing because everyone's going through that. Everyone has fear of income. Everyone has fear of the unknown. That's just life in general, I think. But what I was really trying to hit on was the fact that no matter what you do in life, there will be fear, but you have to overcome it. And I really I strive to like pump you up in a way, like really like motivate you to like get out there. And it doesn't matter. The fear is still going to be there. You just got to do it. And I mentioned in there about having Mike and having Taylor, and it wasn't because I wanted them around necessarily, because I do. Don't get me wrong, I want them. But it's a lot of it's because easy. Okay, I guess I want them around. I'm winking on this side. They can't see it. But it's mainly because you kind of need them around, and I'm sure it's probably vice versa for them and for any men that you guys have in your lives. You need them there, and don't ever feel as if you're a burden on them if you need to shed some weight on them. Like I told you guys in there, like to me it's intriguing to probably tell them some things I won't tell other people because I need the help. So that's why they are here. If they weren't here for it, they wouldn't be sitting at this table going through all the work that we put into this ministry and our friendships and the brotherhood that we've built. They wouldn't be here. So don't ever feel bad. If you do feel bad or you think something's going to happen because you're laying out your heart to them or your issues, then maybe they're not that true brother that you initially thought they were. You know what I mean? Like that's the point I tried to get across during all of this, because this is when people need to lean on each other the most. On times of the unknown. That's when it's we talk about being uncomfortable to get comfortable and embracing it, but in the unknown, it's unknown for everybody. So
That's a really good word. I'm reading through at work. We're doing like this like book club thing where we're like going through books, and we're reading Dare to Lead by Brene Brown right now. Super good book, and she talks about like vulnerabilities, like what the whole book's about, and she says that one of the myths about vulnerability is that trust has to come before vulnerability, and that's like a myth.
Right.
Like you have to be vulnerable to trust, and trust takes vulnerability, right?
Yep.
So like if you're like having fear about opening up and being vulnerable, like Brandon said, maybe that dude's like if there's a being vulnerable, I guess what I'm trying to say is being vulnerable with people your brothers should make you feel like there's a weight taken off.
Right.
You shouldn't then leave like, man, I wonder how they're thinking, or I wonder if they're judging me, I wonder like if their view of me is now bad, or whatever. Like you shouldn't have this like fear of like I can't, like I don't want to burden them. You know what I mean? Like that's not real brotherhood. And that's
not to sound like bad or like frank or anything, but in a way you can't care. Like initially when you said that, like what you just said, I thought, well, I don't care how they feel because I know they're not judging me.
Yeah.
And I don't care. That sounds like mean, like harsh. Like why would I say that about you too? But it's the total opposite. It's in reality, it's like I don't care what they're feeling because I know that they're to help. It's not I don't care that I don't care for them per se.
That's good.
Yeah.
But I just felt inspired, especially after John Eldridge's episode. It was just something on my mind, and plus everyone knows that fear was the main thing that I fought starting this entire thing, and which is why obviously we're all working together now, because I still fear we're doing it alone and we do it better together, and that's what this entire brotherhood aspect and what we preach every single week is, and it's about.
Yeah, heck yeah. So I mean that newsletter fired me the heck up. He sent it to me to like proofread it and then to like get it out to the people that are on Patreon, and it fired me. I was so freaking like charged up after it. So it
I
was
wasn't
awesome.
until he sent back the part that I got wrong. I said his instead of is or something. He's like, hey, everything's good except the second paragraph, first a couple words. I was like, I'm not finding it anymore. I didn't get 100%.
It's good, but yeah. So
Mike,
About
just
fear?
the fear, the brotherhood, just everything that we're talking about.
The whole time we were talking, I kept thinking of that Zach Williams song, "Fear Is a Liar," and like everything you guys were talking about is like when you're afraid to do something, like you're typically afraid of it for all the wrong reasons, and they're all the reasons that you tell yourself that not anybody else really tells about you, right? It's like that's why one of our like worst enemies is the person that we see in the mirror. It's because
yeah, absolutely.
like we see ourselves in the most critical way, and other people see us completely differently.
Yeah.
And that's one of the aspects about brotherhood I love the most, is that like you guys tell me on a daily basis like things about me that I don't even see. Like I'm just walking along not paying attention to anything, any of those aspects that like people point out to you.
That's really good. Wow. And you're exactly right, because they say we are our own worst enemies.
Mm-hmm.
Right.
So that literally goes hand in hand with what you're saying. No, that's a good point, man. And I hope everything we talked about tonight inspired you guys to reach out to those brothers and maybe shed some off if they're not cutting it. Like that sounds bad, but I'm just being frank. Like John Eldridge said it the same way. Like if they're not doing the part, maybe they're not that true brother.
Yeah.
So thank you guys for tuning in. Thank you guys for subscribing to the Patreon and being patrons of Brothers of Merit. All three of us up here put a lot of time into it because we just want to better the kingdom. And by you guys helping support us in this mission, just mainly glorifies Him more. That's all this is about. And you guys were the first ones to step up and try it out. So thank you. I know you used to would say the same exact thing. Thank you, thank you, thank you, because it is a lot of work, and
100%.
We really appreciate it.
Yeah, and we're excited. Like this is the first one of this that we're doing.
Right.
So I think it's what I'm excited to extend that brotherhood. You know what I mean? Like extend it beyond just this table and to grow deeper
To different tables.
and have that community grow. So like Brandon said, thank you for signing up. Thank you for saying I want to be part of this and I want to be welcomed into the fold and I want to help grow this thing, because this isn't going to grow if it's just the three of us rubbing shoulders. The brotherhood's got to be exponential across the board. So I love it. Thank you guys.
Yep. Thank you. Stay tuned. We got big things coming up, retreats, things like that we might be planning. So maybe keep an eye out.
Yep.
So
The wheels are spinning.
they are
All the time.
Yeah. God's great.
All the time.
Thank you guys, and thank you, and we will talk to you guys soon.
See ya.
My halo.